We're joined on INSEAD Knowledge by Allan Hong, Development Manager with Sichuan Wenjun Spirits Sales Company Limited. Basically, this is the company that LVMH bought into a few years back. Has it made a difference having a major player like LVMH in China and taking over this company?
With buying this company, we got a lot of lessons learned from this kind of doing, managing this Chinese brand, because this is the first ever experience for the whole group. We've never run any Asian brand before, but now with the great potential in China, the whole group decided to buy Wenjun and then to run this brand as a super premium brand in China.
So what difference has it made? What are the lessons that have been learned?
Well, actually we found that the consumer behaviors varies a lot across the regions, but that's something that we actually didn't notice before. For instance, like the Chinese white spirits, I would say that, okay, in the past, the Moet Hennessy, we almost focus all our efforts on outlets such as modern nightclubs, modern on-trades. However, there's no one drinking Chinese white spirits in those outlets. And then we have to shift our focus to Chinese restaurants.
So those are the sort of marketing aspects. What about the production aspects? Has it had an impact in production in terms of quality, or is it more or less steady as she goes and business as usual?
I wouldn't criticize the previous owner of this brand. However, since we took over, we do impose a more stringent production quality on our products, and through the whole production process, like from the eau de vie, that is the spirits, the fresh spirits that we produce, to the finished goods, we emphasize each part, including packaging, the bottling, etc., etc. So we did these kind of improvements on the quality, and it makes difference.
Your company is specifically making baijiu?
Yes, baijiu.
And you're making it only from one center, from Sichuan?
Yes.
How difficult is it then to get the product across China? One of the great problems facing most companies like this is distribution.
Yeah, I think distribution is kind of a problem, because I would say the Chinese white spirit, the baijiu distribution network is pretty different from the foreign spirits network, because in China we have those kind of so-called baijiu specialized retailer. They have their special relationships with government officials, with Chinese restaurants, and we have to go through them to get this kind of relationships.
But given that this is presumably a market that's growing quickly,
yes,
we're seeing greater disposable income in China, and that will continue.
Yes.
If you've only got one production center, that's going to really limit your growth.
Yeah, but well, our target is not to gain major market share, because production, let's say, let me give you an example. If you want to build a baijiu production site from zero ground, it would take 7 years. How? First of all, 2 years to build a distillery, another 3 years to nourish the pits. The pits is where we put all the grains in for fermentation. And with the newly built pits, you cannot distill, you cannot make good baijiu, so it takes 3 years. And then with another 2 to 3 years, you have to age the spirit before you can sell it. So we are not aiming at gaining major market share in China. However, what we targeted is that the demand is growing fast. However, each of our competitors, they have limited production output, and then what we want is that we want to capture this opportunity. We want to get a niche market that only belongs to ourselves.
LVMH is one of the first players, as you said, foreign players to get involved in the spirits industry. But are you expecting other foreign players to come in?
Nowadays, already a lot of foreign players come in. For instance, like Diageo, they already work with another local brands to, produce, to sell their own brands. The other example is Pernod Ricard. Previously, which is wine and spirit from Sweden, and they also work with the Chinese baijiu company to produce their on baijiu. So I think people, the foreign companies already notice the huge potential of the Chinese white spirit market.
Would they normally have to work with a joint venture partner?
I think that depends on the regulation, because for Chinese baijiu, there's kind of nation protected products. So we have to, I mean, any baijiu brand cannot be fully owned by a foreign company. You need to work with local companies in the form of joint venture.
Allan Hong, Development Manager of Sichuan Wenjun Company Limited, which is a subsidiary of LVMH.
Right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for your time.